Hello YouTube, Nodvik here. So I've noticed that there aren't very many guides for these towers puzzles online for RuneScape anywhere. When I went looking just to see if there were any, because I'm not very good at them yet. Um, all I found was the cheaty things, the cheats, rune apps, and Alt 1. Where if you're using those, I mean, you might as well be botting anyway. It's a really scummy, terrible thing to do, to cheat like that, and take the work out of getting the rewards. That completely ruins the purpose of doing clues. Just like using a bot completely ruins the purpose of mining. You really shouldn't be using those things. It's terrible. But that being said, if you don't know how to do them, and I tried recording this a second ago, and then I had to use the bathroom or something. So, anyway, since for those people that don't know how to do these clues, they don't really have much of an alternative, because this little infograph, I guess, infographic. There we go. There's the word. This little bit of information here doesn't really get you where you need to go in figuring out how to solve these. So I figured I'd go over one with you guys and show you how it's done. Now that being said, I have only completed 13 Master Treasure clues so far, so I'm not very good at these, and it's going to go rather slow, so I apologize for that, but I'm going to try to go as in-depth as I can. And for that, we're going to need Microsoft Paint. Where am I going with this? Well, you'll see. These numbers at the top and the sides and bottom here are our big clue here. What you want to do is you want to imagine 5 different sizes of towers. So we got 5, we got 4 going from tallest to shortest, we got 3, we got 2, and we got 1, right? Oop, damn it. I want to click off of that and then switch to white. There we go. Alright. So with these different sizes, we want to imagine that we are looking straight on from whichever number these are. We're looking straight onto it. So if we're looking on from the right here, we don't have any vantage points. I need to make this bigger so I have access to shapes. There we go. We don't have any vantage points, so there's no diagonal, nothing like that. It's just straight on. So from this vantage point, we can see this one, and behind it we can see that one, behind it we can see that one, behind it we can see that one, behind it we can see that one. So in that case, this number would be 5, right? But say, and of course, if we look at it from this way, we can see this one, but we can't see anything behind it because it's too dang tall, so the number would be 1. But if we say move this one over here, and we're looking at it from this way, we can see this one, and we can see this one behind it here. Let me draw. We can see that one and that one, but these 3 here we can't see because they're hidden. So that number would be 2, right? But say we take this one here and move it here, and we're still looking on from this direction. We can see this one here, we can see this one behind it, we can see that one behind it, but we cannot see these 2 here. They're hidden by this one, right? So that's 1, 2, 3. That number would be 3. And we just got to imagine that that number is each of these numbers, right? And it's pretty easy to take it from there, right? So we're going to, that means the first thing we want to look for, are there any 5s on the left, right, top, or bottom? No, there's not. I don't think there can be in RuneScape. I haven't seen one yet. Out of the 13 clues I've done, there's been several of these Towers games, and they've been a pretty big slowdown for me, but I'm getting better. But if there's a 5, you know that it has to be going from that 5 outward. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In this case, we don't have anything like that. So the next thing we look for is, are there any 1s? There are some 1s. In front of each and every one of these 1s is going to be a 5, because that's the only thing that can hide all of the other squares, and that's the only way you can have just 1 that's visible. From there, we want to look across from any 5s to see if there are any 2s. There is 1 here. And the only way for that to happen is if this is a 4, because remember, each row and each column can only have 1 of each tower, so the only way to have 2 visible when there's a 5 on the other side is to have 4, who knows what, who knows what, who knows what, and 5. So we know that's going to be that. From there, you just gotta kind of work with the clues you have. On the bottom row we have 5, who knows, 4, who knows, and there's going to be 4 visible. Now we know this one's going to be visible because it's a 5, and since we only have a 1, 2, and a 3 we can work with, which are all lower than 4, we know that this one here is going to be visible no matter what. So both of these two have to be visible because this one's going to be invisible no matter what. So we know this can't be a 3 because a 3 would hide a 2 and it would hide a 1. So we know this is a 1 or a 2. This can't be a 1 either because no matter what goes here, it would hide it. So this is either a 1 or a 2, this is either a 2 or a 3, and this is a 1, 2, or a 3, right? So, doesn't really narrow it down much, but we can keep that in mind. From there, let's move up a row. I tend to try to work from the bottom up, but that's just me. You can go wherever. There's a thing I should be catching right there. Oh well. From here, we have 4 that are visible. We know this one's visible, so out of these remaining 4, 3 of them need to be visible, and only 1 of them should be hidden. If only 1 of them should be hidden, out of 1, 2, 3, and 4, we can't have a 4 here, because that would hide all of them. We can't have a 3 here, because that would hide 2 of them, so this can only be a 1 or a 2. So if this is a 1 or a 2, that means out of these 3 we have 1, 2, 3, or 4, but one of them is going to be missing. But if this one was a 4 and this one was a 1, then we would only have 3 visible, so this one's not a 4. If this one was a 3 and say this one was a 2, either of these could be 4, so that would be 1, 3, 4, 5, so that would work fine. So there's not really any restrictions here. All we know is this one cannot be a 4. We know this one can't be a 4. We know this one can't be a 5, but that's already taken. So this one can't be a 4, this one can't be a 4, and that's all we really know. So this one can be a 4, right? Because 3, 4, 5. No, this one cannot be 4. So none of these 3 here can be 4. Which means this one has to be 4, right? Yeah. Alright, so from there, one of these has to be invisible. We have 1, 2, and 3 to work with. And we don't really know anything else about that right now. But that being said, we can move on up. 2 of these are visible. Don't really know anything about that yet. 3 of these are visible, however, so this one cannot be a 5, which means 5 is in one of these, which means this 4 is not going to be visible, right? So this can be a 5, this can be a 5, but this can obviously not be a 5. Okay. Let's see. 3, this can go 3, 4, and then 5 somewhere here, that'll work. This can go 2, 4, yeah. Alright. So all we really know is that this is not a 5, and this is not a 5. Let's move on from there. I'm going to go to this row here. We got, this can be anything. This can be anything. Let's see. I really think I need to finish this row here. I might have to do a little bit of guess and error. I really wish that, like when you're doing Sudoku on paper, you could write the little bitty numbers in the corners to keep track of everything you're remembering. You don't really get that opportunity here. I think there is like an option, because if you click these numbers, they go gray, but I don't know what that does. You can't click and drag them anywhere. It changes just fine. I don't know what clicking these do. If I go here and here, it doesn't do anything, you know? I don't know what hitting those numbers does. But anyway, so we got 1, 2, and 3. And 2 of them are visible. If this is a 1, it can go 1, 3, 2. It can go 2, 1, 3. That's all it can really do. 2, 1, 3 or 1, 3, 2. 2, 1, 3 or 1, 3, 2. So 2, 1, 3 or 1, 3, 2. That's what that has to be. So I wish there was a clear option here in the right click as well, but oh well. 1 through 2, 2 and 3. If this is a 2, 1, 3, 2. If this is a 1, then we would have to go 1, 2, 3. Or we'd have to go 2. We would have to go 2, 3, 4 if this was a 1, which would allow 2. That's possible. That's possible. If this, that would mean this is 2, 2, 4, 5, 1, 3, 2, 4, 5, 1, 3. And that's if this is a 1, 2, 1, 3. So if this was 2, 1, 3. Let's go 1, 1, 3, 2. That means this would not be able to be a 3, which means we'd go 3. That doesn't really do anything, but this is 2, 1, 3. We can get 1, 1, 4, 3, 2 would work, or 1, 3, 4, 2. 4, 2. Let's work all these out. Let's start off with say 2, 1, 3. Alright? So then we know this one's going to be hidden, so these have to be active. So that would be, we have 1, 3, and 4 left. I really wish I could write small numbers, but it's whatever. Alright? And then we got 3 that are visible here, so yeah, that's fine. We got 2 that are visible here, so we have to work with 2, 3, and 4. One of these has to be hidden, so this is either a 4 or a 3. And this is going to be a 2 or a 3. And this is a 3 or this is a 2, 3, or 4. So whatever we don't use. Okay. And over here we have 1, 2, and 3, which it can just go 1, 2, 3, and that'd be fine, or 1, 3, 2. Now we need 3 visible here. We know 5 is probably this one, but it could be this one, because that's a 2. Now this is a 3. No, because no matter what, this is going to be higher than 1, because it can't be 1. So this can't be 5. This has to be 5, right? And this has to have 2 visible, which means this has to be 4. Now we got 2 and 3 that can go into these, right? And they both have to be visible, right? Yeah, because 2, 3, 5 would be visible. So this would be 2. That would be 3. Okay. So since this is 2, we have left over 1 and 3, and both of them have to be visible, so they're going to be in order. So we have 1 and 3. Now what do we got left? Let's finish these rows up. We have 1, 4, 5, which means we have 2 and 3 left. Only one of them can be visible, because we have a 2 here, which means this is going to be 3. I don't know why I decremented. And this is going to be 2. Right? So now we got 1 visible, 4 visible, 5 visible. Those are invisible, so we got our 3 and we got our 2. Cool. Right here we have 1, 3, 5, so we have 2 and 4 left over. We need 3 of them to be visible. It doesn't matter which order we get in, those will stay. Doesn't matter which order they go in, that's going to stay, so we don't know which goes where. Yeah, do we? 4 is right here, which means this one can't be 4. It's already taken for that row, so this one's 4. Next is the 2 that we have left over. Has to go there. It can go there. We're good so far. in here we have 3, 4, 2, so we have 1 and 5 that are left over that we can use. Only 2 of these can be visible from the top, which means everything else has to be invisible, so this one has to be... No, that can be 1 or 5, because 1's hidden by 2. I'm an idiot. So going from here, 3, 4, 5, so we don't know which is which, but we do have a 5 right here already, so this one can't be 5, so that one's 1. That one's 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, that's going to be 1. 1, 3, so that's going to be 2. And check. And it's solved. Hey, that easy, and it only took me way too long. But anyway, that's how you do it.